stand on the eloquently established protocol by the MC to begin my address at this 48th conference. Distinguished NIFST elders of our institute, ladies and gentlemen of the press, kindly, with your permission, let's observe a moment of silence in memory of our late Professor Charles Akambi, who until his death earlier this year was the chairman of our body of fellows, as well as all other NIFSTers that we have lost in the course of the year. May we still, for those who can afford to stand, please stand and remain silent for a moment. Singular honor to welcome you to the 48th conference of NIFST, holding in this ancient city of Kano, the industrial and economic hub of northern Nigeria. The 48th conference of NIFST held in Kano in 2016, exactly 8 years ago, and indeed it was very successful. 8 years later, we are back to this special ancient city for another conference that promises to be equally successful. As I mentioned in my address at the 47th conference of last year, annual conferences provide useful opportunities for intellectual exchanges and participation by academic, non-academic, and corporate members of NIFST, as well as stakeholders in general. For those who may be attending this conference for the first time, let me begin by informing you that NIFST is the largest body of food professionals in Africa. It is the custodian of the largest repository of documented food research expertise, knowledge base, and intellectual property in Africa. NIFST members occupy positions in industry, as well as trade and commerce, government, regulatory agencies, as well as in academia, research, and development. Many NIFST members are consultants and resource persons to international development organizations on food, nutrition, and safety matters. These facts, as I alluded to last year, have not changed. Your Excellency, at this conference, we shall be giving Lifetime Achievement Awards to some outstanding leaders of our institute, while recognizing a handful of players in the food industry for their contributions to the food sector, as well as their philanthropy and dedication to NIFST. In doing so, we are hoping that we are aware that some deserving players in the industry would have been left out. This notwithstanding, NIFST's goal is to continue to recognize worthy partners at subsequent conferences as a way of deepening and consolidating our relationships for the benefit of our nation. Therefore, I urge our partners to be patient, as these recognitions will eventually get to all deserving players in the food sector. Your Excellency, Your Royal Highness, I am pleased to report that 2 new trustees, namely His Royal Majesty the Oni of Ife, Oba Ade Eniton Ogunwusi, and His Lordship, Bishop Matthew Hassan Pope, Bishop, Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, have been approved by our governing council as trustees. NIFST is grateful to these leaders for obliging our institute's request, and their investiture shall hold at their earliest convenience, as they are both unable to make it to this year's conference, owing to some other pressing matters. These new trustees will further help in strengthening the institute, as our 2 surviving trustees, namely Oloye Mrs. Violet Yabode Ladipo, and Vice Admiral Mutala Nyako have both guided the Institute for decades now, and they are now 182 years respectively. In fact, the Institute visited and celebrated Mama Oloye Ladipo as she marked her centennial birthday earlier this year. Still, at this conference, we shall carry out the investiture of 20 upgraded distinguished members of the Institute to the status of fellow, including the present Deputy Governor of Rivers State, Her Excellency Professor Ngozi Odu. In the same vein, we shall recognize the 47 NIFST LOC Organizing Committee, ably represented by their chairman, for the prudent and excellent prosecution of last year's conference with an award. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Dolapo Walker Award for the best female FST graduates in Nigeria, both for polytechnic and university categories, in the 2021-2022 academic session shall be presented to the winners still at this conference. NIFST remains ever grateful to Mrs. Coker, by the way, our first female president, I did add, for sponsoring these awards. And we equally congratulate all the winners, the latest winners. Recall that last year during my address, I urged members to sponsor the male graduates. And in 1 year, we have received no response. So for that reason, I intend to seek Council's approval to enable me to take up the sponsorship of the best male FST graduates in Nigeria going forward. When approved, the award will hopefully commence at the next conference, as I believe it will further promote academic excellence in food science and technology at a time that education appears to attract little premium in Nigeria. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have tried to highlight some of the things that have transpired in the last 2 years, being that this is a year of transition, and they are so listed for the records in the documents which you all have. So I won't belabor the point reading through them, and I will encourage us to take time to read through all that has been put down. Permit me, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, to say that the theme of this year's conference, Food Science and Technology for Sustainable Food and Nutrition Security, is apt at this time, owing to the renewed quest to exploit the country's enormous agricultural potential in our collective bid to diversify Nigeria's economy. The theme seeks to place the searchlight on the critical role of food science and technology in the promotion of food and nutrition security. As we know, for a nation to be truly food secure, not only should there be access to affordable food at all times, such food must be safe and nutritious. Ensuring that food is processed into safe and nutritious products therefore represents the fulcrum of the field of food science and technology. Consequently, making isolated progress in Nigeria's agricultural production without commensurate efforts at developing value multiplication, not just value addition, might be inimical to much desired national economic growth and well-being of the populace. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the reality of having a food and nutrition insecure society, as unpleasant as it is already here for all to see. Therefore, I urge participants at this conference to deliberate freely on the issues bordering on this year's conference theme, so as to proffer helpful suggestions that will facilitate full deployment of food science and technology to address both food and nutrition security in Nigeria. In concluding this address, Your Excellency, I wish to express my gratitude to members of NIFST Governing Council and all NIFSTers, all our elders in general, for your unalloyed support, suggestions, and contributions to the progress made by the Institute in the last 2 years under my leadership. I urge us to extend the same support to the soon-to-be elected NIFST leadership so that together we shall continue to build an institute that we are all very proud of. I wish us a fruitful and enjoyable 48th Annual Conference. Long live NIFST, long live Kano State, long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.